The Highwayman by Alfred Noyes. Alfred Noyes, 1880 to 1958. The Highwayman. What are highwaymen? The British poet and novelist Alfred Noyes was often called the most popular writer of his time. Many people enjoyed his verses for its rousing storytelling and its thumping rhythms. In fact, his work was often performed aloud. Today, he is best remembered for The Highwayman, which he wrote in a small cottage on the edge of Bagshot Heath shortly after leaving Oxford University. Alfred recalls, Bagshot Heath in those days was a wild bit of country. The highwayman suggested itself to me one blustery night when the sound of the wind in the pines gave me the very first line. The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The Highwayman is a narrative poem first published in August of 1906. The poem is set in 18th century England and tells the story of an unnamed highwayman. It was written on the edge of a desolate stretch of land in West Surrey known as Bagshot Heath. The poem makes use of imagery and repetition, and is based on a true story that the poet heard while he was on vacation in that part of England where highwaymen used to lie in wait for stagecoaches. In this narrative poem, a daring and dashing robber, the highwayman, visits a beautiful young woman named Bess at an inn. As they plan to meet up with each other again, a stableman named Tim listens jealously. When a group of cruel soldiers arrives, Bess makes a fateful decision. The highwayman in this famous poem is a robber who lived in England in the 1700s. Highwaymen stopped stagecoaches on the lonely moorlands, and a moor is a type of habitat, of northern England and Scotland to rob the rich passengers of money and jewels. Some highwaymen were considered heroes by the Scots because they shared the money that they earned from these robberies with the poor. Highwaymen were often dashing and romantic figures who dressed in expensive clothing.